Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an all-new movie review here on the Corky's World channel. I'm Corky, as always, and today we're going to be talking about Nerve, starring not James, but Dave Franco, James Franco's little brother, and Emma Roberts. I always get her and Emma Watson confused. But enough about that. So Nerve is about and I'm playing Tetris while I do this. So there's that. It's like the most neon techno-y game I have, which brings me to what I'm talking about. Nerve is an online game in this movie where people play or watch through their smartphones, and it's truth or dare, but the audience decides the dares and whether or not they're being done correctly or in the amount of time. And Emma Roberts' character is a kind of nerdy, shy photographer girl who never really steps outside of her comfort zone, and she lives on Staten Island with her mom, and she lost her brother. I don't even think it said how she lost her brother. I assume sick. It might have said it, and I was just dozing off during the movie or something. But that does not take away from the fact that it was still a fairly decent movie. So she goes to the city and starts playing this game because her friend tells her kind of a bitch friend tells her, you're not ever going to step outside of your comfort zone. You're just a shy little mouse, and you should just leave stuff like this to people like me. Her friend already being a semi-popular Nerve player. So when she decides to go to New York City, she meets up, or actually, take a step back, she goes and starts her own Nerve account to prove to, I assume, her friend more than herself, even though she said she was doing it for her, that she is, she can't step out of her comfort zone, and she can be more than just a shy little mouse and all this stuff. And her first dare is to go to a diner, and then when she gets to this diner, Dave Franco is there, and her dare is kiss a stranger. She kisses Dave Franco, and then a whole slew of fun, hip, cool dares start coming out. And then the dares get progressively more kind of mean, aggressive, and I'm not gonna give away the whole plot. It's just it comes to an end, and here's where I'm gonna start talking about how I actually felt about the movie and some things about it. Right off the bat, I don't care for Juliette Lewis as an actress. She's been around a long time, and that's cool, and you should respect older actors. I just don't think she's very good. I think everything she does is the same role, and just kind of tweaked to kind of fit the performance. I think her character could have been played by anybody, and that being said, it already took off a few notches for me. She's just not what I'm looking for in a movie, let alone one that's supposed to be about, young, hip, kind of aimed towards the younger generation. And granted, she does play kind of like a stuffy mom, but I didn't even feel like she did that very well. So there's that. Juliette Lewis not getting Best Supporting Actress for her role in this. At least not for me, anyway. So next thing that I want to mention is she has a nerdy friend that you kind of right off the bat. It's there are two love interests before they even introduce James Franco, and it's oh, she likes this guy, but she's gonna end up with that guy. And spoiler alert, she obviously ends up with Dave Franco, which I think I might have just called James Franco, which if that happens a lot, forgive me. I'm also trying to focus on Tetris while stumbling through this review. Even though I'm doing a review, I still beat the computer, so I have that going for me. So another thing is, it didn't happen till the very end, and then it became blatantly obvious. But you see a movie like this, you read the synopsis, and you kind of think, oh, this kind of just feels like a dumb Hollywood push message. The damn youngsters are spending too much time on the damn phones, not experiencing it, not enjoying what's going on in front of them and all this stuff. And for the most part, it didn't feel like that until a very crucial monologue from Emma Roberts at the end, when it became shoving it down your throat obvious that, hey, look around once in a while. Don't spend so much time on your phone. Don't do crazy dares on your phone. It's bad and stuff. And it really kind of like any momentum the movie had built up, which was a considerable amount. Like a lot of cool things happened in this movie. I thought the way they shot the film was fantastic. I liked a lot of the cuts. I'm a huge fan of found footage. Anyone who knows me personally knows that. And this whole thing was more or less filmed on like iPhones and Samsungs. I thought that was super dope. I thought it was I wouldn't say original, but it was a cool way of doing a movie like this. So that being said, I didn't feel like there was any like hidden message until that very end when Emma Roberts was just like, "You can't do this. Phones taking over the world," and it was just like, "We get it, you know." All right, cool. So it had a lot of cool effects. Like I was saying, you know, some of the stunts were, for example, there's a stunt where Dave Franco hangs off of a crane on top of a fucking like 30-story building. Like, it was pretty obvious that that was fake. But then again, I'm not expecting someone to go out and fucking hang off a crane for this movie that I don't think made much money or got much recognition or buzz. So, you know, what effects there were, I thought they were fine, except for that one moment I just mentioned. So, acting, I thought, aside from what we already talked about with Juliette Lewis, I thought the acting in the movie was fine. Huge fan of Dave Franco. Again, while I said it felt like Juliette Lewis did the same thing in every movie, I think that about Dave Franco, but it's not a harsh criticism. I think Dave Franco just has kind of a cool personality where any character he is transferable between movies. So I asked Karen while we were watching this, because we watched this together, what was the last thing we watched Dave Franco in, and it was Now You See Me Too. And I told her, like, at any given moment in this movie, if he would have just started doing card tricks, I would have been like, yeah, okay, so that's what he does in movies, and I'm completely okay with that. It's because Dave Franco is just such a moldable piece of clay that like any role may seem like he's doing the same thing, but that's just part of his charisma, and I don't mind that. So Emma Roberts, I also think, is a fantastic actress, because it's crazy how she can go from being just a fucking colossal bitch on Fox's Scream Queens to this kind of shy girl who slowly steps outside of her shell. And then she was also Nancy Drew, which is way the differences between the two are just insane. So huge kudos to both of them. I did not know the actress who played the bitchy best friend. I thought it was Debbie Ryan from Disney Channel, but her name is Emily Mead. Miles Heiser was her kind of nerdy best friend, and then Juliette Lewis was there, and I didn't care about that. So the main antagonist of the movie is an actor named Machine Gun Kelly, and I was just... Karen told me that, and I just could not believe that was a human being name. And sure enough, I look it up on IMDb, and it is. And I imagine a big part of his persona, and I say that because any human being named Machine Gun Kelly can probably only very roughly be called a human being. There was a part in the movie where his character, because his character is like the other person who's fighting for the top two spots other than Dave Franco and Emma Roberts, and his character does this dare, and then when he finishes it, he gets up and he's like, yeah, and he starts celebrating, and then he pulls out, like, he acts as if he has a machine gun attached to him, and he just starts going, da, and like waving it back and forth, and it's like, oh, cool, because your name's Machine Gun Kelly, but that wasn't his name in the movie, it was Ty, so it was just like, he kind of just slipped his own personal thing into the movie. I thought that was kind of douchey. Karen said she'd seen him before on the show Catfish, and I was like, oh, that's weird that this character exists in other things where he's not just kind of being a fucking tool. Later we found out that the director of the movie, or I should say one of the directors, because it was a co-director thing, was Ariel Schulman is Neve Schulman's brother, and Neve and Ariel they directed and made the Catfish movie, and then Neve stars in it. I think Ariel works in it behind the scenes. And then Henry Joost is also another director. He has not done a ton. He has, I got it right here. He directed a 2016 movie called Viral. Nerve also came out this year. He what else has he got? Nothing. I guess he directed Paranormal Activity 4, which in my opinion is the worst of the Paranormal Activities. Oh, he did 3 too. So I didn't hate 3, but and I guess Henry Joost also helped direct Catfish the movie. So direct and produce. So those two are just like a team that are constantly working together. That is crazy to note though that the two of these guys, you know, basically known for this movie that is more or less on the lines of real and then turn into something that they follow as real, that they came together to make this kind of cyberpunk scare movie. And that's the thing about Nerve that I really enjoyed, was that, like, you saw it in the preview, but this movie starts out so fun and lighthearted and then immediately just like, oh shit, they're kind of doing some crazy shit, or oh man, that's a crazy thing that person just said, or oh shit, I can't believe they're doing this dare now, when they were just like, the dare was like kiss each other, and now it's like drive 60 miles an hour blindfolded down a fucking crowded road in New York City. It's just crazy. It was a crazy film. Apparently it's based on the novel by Gene Ryan, which I had no idea this was based on a book. It seems like a hard premise to sell as a book, you know? Like, I don't know that reading something like this would translate as good as seeing it, because it is based on just, like, visual orientation and disorientation. So maybe the book might be worth checking out. If you want to check that out, it's Nerve by Gene Ryan. So go ahead and check that out if you feel like it. Alright, so this will be a kind of short review. Like, I don't want to give away the entire plot of the movie. Like I said, it makes a final push at the end, and I know I keep circling back to it, but it just kind of really ticked me off that, like, you know, we gotta take our heads out of our phones, and we can't really do this. It's, you know, it's bad, and even though it's the internet, you know, maybe some things aren't supposed to happen. Something I will circle back to is, or not circle back to, but tangent off to, is that the nerdy best friend, like, from the beginning of the movie is like, you don't know, man. You don't know. I'm a hacker. I'm on the deep web. I'm always on the deep web. You don't even know the dark web. It's so crazy. I'm on the deep dark web, and you only see like 10% of the internet, and you don't even know. And he makes like fucking 3 points before him and Emma Roberts separate, and then he meets up with his other hacker friends. One of which is played by, and the actress's name, I don't know it that well to begin with, but she's on Orange is the New Black, or she was. Samira Wiley is the hacker queen in the movie. I thought she did a fucking fantastic job. I don't care for Orange is the New Black, but she was, like, when I saw it in passing, she was one of my favorite characters. She's been in other things, I know. She was... It's funny because the last thing I can remember seeing her in was she was in a fucking like credit card commercial or something like that. She was in The Sitter with Jonah Hill. That's a dope movie. Apparently she plays Michonne's voice in the Walking Dead Telltale game, which that's super dope. I'm gonna have to pick that shit up immediately now that I know that. Anyway, she was a hacker queen. She was super cool. But there's this part where he calls her and he's like, "Hey, I need a key to the dark web. I need to get on the deep web. I need a plane ticket to Aruba, because that's the code name for deep web and how to get on the deep web and blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "I don't know, boy. Better not be doing nothing too crazy." And he's like, "I just need to help a friend." So she gives it to him, and then he logs on and it's all like, click, click, click. I'm on the deep web now. And he's like, "Man, I love the deep web. You can find anything on the deep web." And it was just like, dude, we get it. We get that you're trying to make this, you know, deep web, in quotes, I'm air quoting, more known. A lot of people know about that. It's just most people don't care to waste their time to try and dive into it. Like, yeah, it's cool for like buying guns or drugs and like doing crazy weird shit and seeing crazy weird shit. But the fact is, that's for like, you know, like we only use 10% of the internet, but only 10% of the entire world want to watch crazy dumb shit like that. So yeah, no one's really like going out of their way to try and find weird gross shit they don't want to look at or don't need to look at. So like it felt like that was the secondary message that was being way shadowed behind Emma Roberts and her like, oh, fucking whatever. But that's enough. That's enough of that. So guys, I think I pretty much said everything I need to say about Nerve. Came out 2016. Emma Roberts, Dave Franco. Guys, I didn't hate it, but I'm gonna give you my final judgment, and if it confuses you, I will try and enlighten that afterwards. All right, guys. So Nerve, starring Dave Franco and Emma Roberts, final judgment gets 5 out of 10 film reels, and the reason it's getting 5 out of 10 is while I thought it was a fun experience and it was enjoyable, you have to think about the long game with movies. It's why every movie doesn't get to be fucking 7 out of 10. Doesn't get to be 9 out of 10. Because whereas I just did Ghostbusters and I gave that, I think, somewhere around 6, 7. I would like to watch Ghostbusters again. I'm talking about Ghostbusters Answer the Call, of course. I wouldn't mind watching that again. I thought it was kind of funny. The graphics were cool. I wouldn't mind, like, re-looking into that in a few months and then maybe giving a re-review. But Nerve, while not being a horror movie, it tended to fall into the category that a lot of horror movies fall into, where it's one and done, you know. For horror movies are often referred to as firecrackers, because once you light the match, you can't unpop the firecracker. It's done, you know. Only a few horror movies really, like, make me want to come back to them, which is, you know, the Blair Witch Chronicles, and that comes out tomorrow, so I'll be reviewing and I will be watching and reviewing that tomorrow, and I cannot fucking wait to post it. I cannot wait to watch it. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for fucking months. I was in such a shitty time and place when it came out in theaters that I didn't have a chance to go see it, but now it's going to be at home on my big TV in a fucking Blu-ray player, and I'm so fucking pumped. So that's happening. But yeah, guys, 5 out of 10 for Nerve. 5 out of 10 film reels for Nerve. I definitely think it's worth checking out. It's just, for me, not something I'm going to recheck out, you know? It doesn't have lastability. Great horror movies like fucking, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through, let's say 4, because I think after 4 it was when it was starting to not be good. You know, the first Friday the 13th. I love the Blair Witch movies. I could always go back to those. Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Those all have something that make you want to come back to them. Whether it was a little bit of campy horror, or whether it was, you know, the innovative shot style at the time. Whether it was fucking, you really like that actor in Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, not Freddy. Not not fucking Robert. Fuck, it's on the edge of my tongue. I meant the actress in it. But you know, good horror movies always have something to come back to. And Nerve kind of, you know, like I said, and I'm tripping over my tongue now to wrap this up, but there was nothing in it that made me feel like I need to go back. It was like, I experienced this. It was cool when I experienced it, but now it'll just sit in my memory, and I don't, like, we rented it, thank God. I think if I would have bought this, I probably would have been a little more bummed. But, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You guys know I'm all over the place. I'm always happy to talk about movies, so leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought about the movie. If you thought I should have rated it higher, or if you thought I should have rated it lower because you just couldn't get behind it. Guys, Nerve, 5 out of 10. Check it out at least once. Always make the judgment for yourself. Always remember to be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will see you in the next episode or review. Later days.